Hello. So, I figured I was basically going to be doing some, basically, not necessarily grinding, but basically very grindy stuff, um, on this WoW private server or whatever. So I was like, might as well record a little bit while I'm doing that. So mostly brainless kind of stuff. And I could just talk, most likely, but yeah. I usually play these alts on this hardcore server or whatever. I usually kind of play these alts. I choose which one to play mostly based on how much rested XP that they have. Like, because it maxes out at 150%, 150% rested XP. Um, so I just kind of cycle between them based on that to get rid of it so they can keep accumulating it and stuff. And in this case, uh, this paladin has the most, so I guess I'll play her. But yeah, there's a few kind of things that I had some stuff to talk about, I guess. Um, so Rudy, I saw your I saw your community post from like I guess a day ago or whatever. Like I just checked this. I just checked a few hours ago. But you posted it like a day ago supposedly. Um, and yeah, that's what was it? The I don't know what that channel is. I'm guessing that channel is mostly like I don't know, one of those kind of like conservative, obviously conservative leaning channels or whatever that they just kind of talk about like the at least that's the impression I got. Um, they just kind of talk about like the what would you call it, the woke stuff taking over and stuff and shit like that. That's just my guess from seeing that one video and some of the comments and shit. But yeah, so basically I don't even know what you'd call it, like this guy who runs an open source project or did, I don't know if they still do or whatever. Um about like not even like software or whatever, like software that uh like not even software that is actually like used for the collection of supposed like DNA info or whatever the fuck you'd call it, like data. As far as I could tell, it was just basically the amalgamation of data that is collected from other sources or some fucking bullshit like that. Um, once again, like I would just kind of always be questioning like who is actually using some of this fucking bullshit that like I mean, supposedly some people, I guess, using this kind of like software or whatever these things. Not one of those things I would ever like. That's kind of the point I was gonna make, if it's even a point or it's just a opinion or whatever. But like those kind of, if you even want to call them like open source projects, they're kind of just like, I wouldn't say like necessarily fraudulent or whatever, but like it's almost like they wear the open source title or whatever you want to say, and say like, oh yeah, but like I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant of the function of that particular software or whatever, but it's like, who gives a fuck if something like that is open source, I guess? Like, who is actually using that in their kind of everyday life, I guess? That they would care enough to, like, want that to be an open source thing. I don't know. It's just one of those products, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't really make sense to me. But with that opinion, I guess, possibly a very ignorant opinion or whatever some might say, like, if somebody doesn't have, like, the immediate use for kind of that kind of software, like I said, does it really matter that it was open source in the first place? So who really gives a shit? But that's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is like, these type of people, they would, like, they would make these big not fusses, but like, they make this big presentation about, oh, I'm taking this thing out of being open source, or I'm deleting everything. But they're kind of doing it more like for show. Not so much for show, like they're trying to. Who the fuck is this? Okay, I don't know what this person wants. Maybe they maybe they need a ghetto hearth or some shit. I don't think so, but I don't know what they want. I don't know what they... Oh. Oh. Need murlocs. Alright. Let's kill some murlocs then. Wow, this is a lot of fucking misses. Jeez. And why was that sheep so giant? That was fucking weird. Dude, what are these fucking misses? The fuck? But, it's like they kind of just do it for... It's not even like virtue signaling, I guess. I mean, it kind of is, but it's just like doing it for attention, obviously. I mean, like, obviously they're doing it for attention because they wouldn't really, like, advertise it otherwise like that. But, it's like they know deep down that their software, or whatever they've made, their art, their software, whatever it is, they know that nobody really cares that they did it. Like, it's not something that people really give a fuck about. So they just kind of try to make a big show. They just kind of make like a big show of oh, I'm deleting everything. Oh, I'm deleting everything, but then, like, nobody really cares at the end of the day. So it's kind of like in my opinion, very pathetic way to try to make themselves feel relevant, or make themselves appear relevant when they're really not. Um, was there another point I was gonna make specifically about that DNA shit? I mean, besides the fact that, like, besides the fact that Danny Mindley, what is with all fucking, as soon as I start recording, now I get a fucking million people that now I get a million people that want my attention. Like, what the fuck? Oh shit. That's funny. That is amusing. But yeah, Danny, he would say about the DNA shit. Even though this specific topic is probably more about what would you call it? Like um these stupid websites. The fuck are they? Like the ancestry.com, like that kind of data, quote unquote DNA data. Probably that's what I'd imagine. That's probably more about. Um, but yeah, on the actual, like, what Danny would call it on his channel, the magic spaghetti, or whatever the hell whatever the hell it is, whatever the hell it is. I forget what Danny called it exactly, but something spaghetti, like the spaghetti. Um, but that's really like what it is this. I, what was the other thing that there's another thing that was like that, where it's just like this absurd um this absurd concept, like, oh, viruses, that's it, viruses, like the idea that there is this thing that is not even considered quote unquote living. It is somehow exponentially even smaller than these other things that are exceedingly small, that we can't even see them, whatever. That being, like, quote unquote cells and bacteria. Uh, but then the concept that there is this stuff, DNA, that is just like, it magically goes to the cells that it's supposed to go. It has all this information. It can be stretched out hundreds of miles, whatever the fuck, if that was possible. If that was possible and shit. And yeah, really, just the entire concept of, like, DNA is just absurd. And this place being as magical and fake, whatever you want to say, cartoon-like as it is, doesn't necessarily mean that those things can't exist in this kind of reality. But just as it currently is, it is just absurd. Um, if you want to think about it in a logical way or whatever, it's just bullshit. Um, and to imagine that, like, there's some software just for collecting shit like that like anybody really cares about. It's like, no, 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 nobody gives a fuck. I mean, And you got these supposedly open source projects that it's like at that point, can you really even consider it open source when the product itself is so reliant on somebody else's like database or servers to even like function at all or have any use? When it's like a database, like the value of a database is the actual data, correct? Um, and to have it so like one guy who owns that database can just say, "All right, well, I'm deleting everything. Now it's all useless." Then it's really not even to me in that sense. It's really not even open source. It's just like it's just once again the stupid like lip service to that kind of shit. Um, but I guess that's just my very uninformed and ignorant uh idea of open source, I guess some people would probably say. So, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a fucking guy who makes fucking mods occasionally for a pretty damn obscure game. So it's like, what do I know? Nothing. But do these people know anything? No. Um, but kind of getting to your point, what I think what you were saying, Rudy, was like the what is it the thing I was talking about with like why artists delete their shit, and in this case, I don't know, but yeah, why people that create certain things delete their shit like that, and in this case, I think it was like one of those kind of Reddit mod fucking things. It seems like where they're just one of those people that have they have like no they do not have any control of stuff in their lives, or they feel like they have no control of stuff in their lives. Um, so they just do something like that to try and kind of prove to themselves or prove to others that they do have some control of something, even if it's something as like insignificant as some software that really nobody gives a fuck about. Um, and that's I think that's basically what this example was them doing that. And I think I have more sympathy for the people that are like the image artist, like that make art like the more conventional art of like images and stuff like that. Um, because in this case with the software, I don't know, it's just like it is just really like it just shows a level of pettiness and patheticness that's just like, oh man. I mean, it all does, but in this case, it's like even more pathetic. Um, and then even just like trying to pass off your software as like some open source thing when in reality it probably really isn't. If it's a database thing that you could just delete because that's where all the value comes. It's not really even open source if you ask me. It's like I don't know. It's just once again like lip service to it. Uh, Now, what was the other topic? Yeah, this one is like completely unrelated. Uh,
You need something? See you around.
this one's like completely unrelated, but last night, I mean, right now, as you can see, it's fucking 1 a.m. But last night, the last time that I slept, um, fucking, I had something happen that hadn't happened in a long time, and I didn't even real. That was the weird part is I didn't even realize it happened until I woke up, and like after I wake up, pretty much, I just take a piss and then I take my weight and then put my weight down and on my log and everything, and when I woke up, stuff like that. But that's normally what the first thing I do after waking up and getting out of bed is take a piss. Um, but when I took a piss this time, it like fucking, it was like somebody put your finger on a hose and it just like sprayed like in like two directions outward, not like a clean stream. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? Because normally that's something that only really happens when you ejaculate and you don't take a piss afterward, or you don't like clean it much afterward. Like it just kind of the semen like hardens, and then it like blocks the stream, the piss hole a little bit until until some initial stuff comes out and it clears it up a bit. Um, and then I was like, well, what the fuck was that about? Because I didn't, I didn't, I didn't jerk off or goon the night before, and if I do, I clean it off pretty well or whatever, so that doesn't happen. And I take a piss afterwards. I try to, so that doesn't happen. Um, but then I also noticed that my boxers had like some stain, like not stains, but a few like spots that were like a little bit hardened and like not crusty necessarily, but like what would the term be? Like wrinkled, but wrinkled and a little bit crusty. And I was like, um, so I was like, all right, well that normally only happens um, when you have dried like semen on the clothing or whatever. Once again, so I was like, okay, put two and put this together. I was like, obviously I had my semen on I ejaculated last night or some shit when I was sleeping. And like that's not something that's that amazing, like what the term is, nocturnal emission or whatever. And I've had this happen a good few times before, but I hadn't had it happen in a while. And the weird thing is I almost always know when it happened because I either wake up during it, I wake up just after it, and I notice that there's like a fucking like my my crotch is wet or whatever. I was like, oh, what the fuck? But this time I didn't. I woke up and I fucking didn't even notice it happened, I guess. I was like, what the hell was that about? And I didn't even have like any dreams. Um yeah, I didn't have like any dreams or anything. I didn't like remember it at all. Um and as far as I remember, there wasn't even like any much arousal like when I was going to bed or whatever. So it was just really weird that I didn't even like um uh Oh. Okay, I guess that's good enough. But I didn't even notice that it had happened or whatever, so that was just really strange. Not something I really experienced before where I didn't have any recollection of that happening. Not sure what that was about, but I was like, okay, you know, just a weird note I wanted to make. I guess I'll just be doing flash of light, pretty much. Okay. Uh, I'll just give everybody fucking this. Fuck it. Wait, did I give them the right fucking shit? No, I didn't. I'm a dumbass. Okay. There we go. I guess we got a pet. We got a pet tank, it seems. Fine with me. um, I talked about that. Talked about Rudy's um post that he made. Talked about Rudy's post that he made. See, this is why in vanilla paladin tanks are pretty trash. But I mean, you know, they can work, but it's usually not that great. It's usually pretty subpar. But hey, what can you do? Look how fucking often he has the mana. I mean, the issue is that I'm pretty sure he's kind of shit. I mean, kind of has to be, or he doesn't know how to. Do I still have my? Yeah, I don't know why that went off, but whatever. But yeah, he probably doesn't need to be consecrating every hole. Or, like, that often. He should really only have to consecrate, like, once. Yeah, I mean... That's one thing I noticed in these. I don't get it with fucking on private servers, man. The on private servers, man. The fucking. I mean, like, it kind of makes sense, but it seems so disproportionately that people are fucking garbage at the fucking game, and it's not to be like racist or any shit like that, but man, it seems like most of the people that don't like natively speak English are fucking even worse than the other people that are trash. I don't know why. Like I was doing a Wailing Caverns like 2 days ago. Like yeah, like 2 days ago, and or maybe even yesterday or some shit. Um, and it was what was it? It was like I was the mage, like just slightly under leveled for the place, just a little bit. I think we had another mage. I forget. I think it was two mages, some other DPS, and then two shamans. One being the healer and one being the tank. And they're both 27, which is like pretty damn over, like not super, but a fair amount over leveled for Wailing Caverns. And like just the lack of knowledge of the dungeon and the lack of like how certain things work and just the general way they were like playing. I'm just like, man, these guys are fucking awful. You know, nice enough or whatever, but they were just fucking terrible at the game. And it was a good thing that they were over leveled, because if they weren't, it would have been a fucking disaster. But the fact they were over leveled, it just made it so it wasn't a complete fucking disaster in that sense. And I mean, you see these clips even on like the quote unquote official hardcore like or vanilla servers and stuff, and yeah, people are just fucking awful at, I guess, games in general, but in this example, they're just awful at this game, and I don't understand how. Like, especially considering how long this game has been in existence for, it's like it's just unexcusable to an extent, like ridiculous. Like, unless you're completely new to like the game or games in general or whatever, which I know there is some people, but it's like really completely new to like all this shit, and you're playing this. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just don't buy it, and it kind of just is like, man, these people are just that fucking awful for whatever reason. And you could just bring up the NPC argument or whatever. Um, Not even necessarily an argument, just the fact. But like, I mean, just look at that example. Like the tank not even paying attention at all to the obvious pats. the obvious patrol paths and stuff. It's just like, wow, I don't know. And, you know, and those are like little things, but they really do add up. It's like, how the hell do you not know these like basic fucking things? Or just like any amount of awareness. Like, speaking of that, that was kind of like one point I wanted to make was like that seems to be what I've found as the like uh the kind of difference between people like us to some extent. Maybe I'm just projecting here because I feel like this is mostly like a lot me that I've noticed is like just just the fact that I or we notice patterns, but everybody else around us doesn't seem to notice patterns at all. Like, they doesn't seem to notice patterns at all. Um, and man, can I say, I think fucking Stockades is like the fucking lamest dungeon in the entire, like, maybe not the entire game, but I think it's like the shittiest dungeon in vanilla fucking WoW, and I like almost all the dungeons in vanilla WoW, but Stockades is like one that I'm like, man, this dungeon is ass. Like its only really redeeming quality is just that it is so simple and basic that like it's hard to kind of fuck up. It's hard to fuck up. And at least for the Alliance, it's literally inside your one of your main cities. So the accessibility is very convenient, but yeah, outside of that, Stockades fucking blows. Even like even Ragefire like Chasm is a lot better than this in terms of just like design, aesthetic, everything. I mean, I guess you got a few like neat boss ideas in here that do things, but it's really that's about it. Everything else about this place is pretty shit. And we were taking so long in these fucking polls because the fact that I keep having to rebuff is like, wow. But like that's like the main thing I see that's like different between myself and the normies is like the normies don't have any pattern recognition at all, and it's fucking weird. Like even like certain things, like when I was doing like testing for like when I was working on my that chest mod that I made. When I was working on that chest mod that I made, like I was noticing patterns when I had like chests being randomly generated and stuff, and I was noticing patterns of like what materials they were being generated with and stuff like that. And I was just like it's especially bad with there's people that do know certain things about computers and how like random number generation is really like in computers, canonical computers is pseudo random number generation. It's like not truly random, whatever that really means. Um, like you will see patterns if you have enough generation cycles with the same seed kind of thing with computers. That's like what it kind of means by pseudo random. It's not truly random. Um, but like they'll give that excuse and say if you see patterns, it's like, oh, it's just, it's just that fact or something, or they won't even like notice that there are patterns happening. Like, I would have been telling them like this is weird that I keep seeing these like same gener. It's locked. Fucking, it's locked, guys. Fucking locked. Duh. Come the fuck up. Is that wisdom? Yeah, it's wisdom. Oh man, I mean, I know. This is like petty, but like even just that, it's just like with fucking people, it's like, what? It's the lack of awareness, like fucking mouse over the thing, and you don't see that it's locked, and we don't have any classes that can unlock shit. Like unless somebody's got engineering Seaphorium charge, which is pretty rare. Uh, pretty rare to see, but I don't know. It's just people are so fucking imperceptive, oblivious, lacking pattern recognition from that, I guess, imperceptiveness, that obliviousness. It's just like, holy shit. And maybe that's how people always were. Maybe that's how people always were. And, now I'm just kind of noticing it. But, yeah, I don't know. It's when I think about it, it's like, man, it didn't seem that bad when I was younger, and maybe it truly is the idiocracy or whatever. Maybe it truly is the idiocracy thing where people are just getting gradually stupider and stupider, even though they were already very stupid. But it's like, goddamn. Uh. Oh yeah, that was a topic I was gonna talk about. Was that was the topic I was gonna talk about. Was I got in the current update for the mod that I'm working on, or the update for the mod that I've already made, but the update for it, this big update. I completed one. Well, I'm very close to completing one aspect that I've been working on for like a few months. It shouldn't have been going on for a few months, but I've just been working very slowly on it and stuff. But this equipment GUI, custom GUI thing, um, specifically for the mod. Uh, like I'm almost done with it, and now I've been having to think of what thing I have to work on, or I should start working on next. And yeah, I mean that's definitely something I noted down that I have to do. Is I need to be a little bit more quote unquote professional in that sense, just for my own benefit, and actually like when I work on these larger things, I need to make like a design doc, basically listing out what things I'm going to be, what things the mod or whatever is going to have and stuff, what features this update or whatever is going to have, because when you're working on one's like feature like for months on end, when you get done with it, you kind of just like lose the bigger picture of like what you're working on and like what you need to actually do next. After that fact, it's kind of funny. Um, it's kind of funny because you're just like, okay, I've been working on this thing, but now I don't know what to do. But as I was doing that, I was going through some of my Discord notes, which I don't have them formatted the way that you do now, Rudy, with the um, whatever that feature, that new feature is called. Beer for days. Beard for days. Um, but yeah, I don't have it the way that you have it, Rudy. I just have it as I just have it as like one, big conversation that just keeps going, and I just kind of add to it as it goes. Um, and I just kind of add to it as it goes. But I was going through them, and I kind of periodically like delete. Um, I periodically delete the kind of like old stuff or irrelevant stuff after the fact. And I was just going through that shit, and it had been a while since I'd done that. And I'd like gone through some of the older shit or whatever. And yeah, like some of the stuff had been like a month. No, I'm sorry, like a year. Like some of the shit was like from a year back. Some of the shit was like already from a year back. Like right now it's April 5th, 2025, and it was from like April 10th, 2024. So like all the way a year back already. Um, and I was just reading some of the shit that I'd like noted down for that, and I was like so into the idea of, oh man, I'll make my own bakery or some shit like that, like stuff like that. Um, and then I just think about it now, like how not so much ridiculous the idea was. Like I think there is still some legitimacy to the idea and all that, like just starting your own thing in general or whatever. But, um... Ow, man. These guys fucking hurt. These guys fucking hurt. I don't even know what the fucking insurgent means. But yeah, just like reading back on some of the stuff, even just from like a year ago, it's just so weird how different I feel like I think, and it seems to always be the same case. Like I realize like how much different I've just become over like even a year, and that year before I was even remembering thinking like, man, I don't think I'm gonna be changing my way I might think very much or whatever. And then when I look back, it just seeing some of that stuff written down, I just like, wow, I think completely different. So like, even if you think you're not gonna change much, it really seems like you do. Weirdly enough, even though at the same time, even though it seems like the world around you doesn't really change that much at all, like you change a lot more than you might think. It's very strange. It's very curious. It's a very curious phenomenon. Ooh. Um. Oh, there was another point I was gonna make. There was another point I was gonna make with that note taking thing. Um. Oh yeah, I mean, once again, always with the fucking time is like, it's fucking unbelievable, man, that it is already a third of the fucking way through this year, 2025. Like, it legitimately feels like, and it probably is true, that it like, this fucking month, or not this month, this year literally happened like, I don't know why that priest is just... that priest is just using Circle of Healing, but I mean, he seems to have plenty of mana right now, so whatever. Um, but yeah, like, the fucking... the time thing, man, it is really just the constant, and maybe that's part of what makes it a thing, is like just the constant realization or thought is like, wow, man, fucking every single day. It's like every single day, man. It's like, how how is it possible to get like anything seemingly done with how little time there is in every day now? Like, like what I made, what is it, like some dinner baklava thing like two days ago, and like one other thing, and some dough. Not even, I didn't even cook the cookies. I made the dough for the cookies. Um and I made the dough for the cookies, and that took like, it didn't even take that long, and I didn't like try even that much or whatever. Um and it took like fucking over 4 hours. And I know me, I'm very slow when it comes to like cooking and shit, because I'm very OCD with like I'm very OCD when it comes to like cleaning up and keeping stuff clean and everything like that, putting stuff away. So yeah, I'm slow, but it's like I'm not that fucking slow that these things take like seemingly 4 times as long as as like other people, or at least how they list it and shit. It's just like, I don't know. You see people doing these like fucking projects and shit where they like bake like these 5,000 different fucking cookie types and shit, and I'm just like, how do they have any time to get any of this fucking bullshit done in one day? I don't know. It's just constantly an absurd concept to me that time is anything but speeding up faster and faster like a fucking out of control roller coaster. I mean, yeah, like that's just the fact that it's already a third of the way through this year is like, wow. And really, you can lay on hand yourself. I don't think you need to do that, but whatever. The hell was that about? Um, yeah, I mean, like I had so many different things last year, and like I don't know what that was about, but okay. Uh, uh, need four more convicts. What the fuck is that about? Yeah, like I had ideas for like gardening and stuff, and I probably still will, but I just haven't had like, I don't know, nearly as much desire to do that stuff. Like, uh, not that they even understand what the fuck. Yeah, but I don't know. I just haven't felt like doing the gardening shit. I mean, maybe when it gets it's not been very consistently nice or whatever. the past few weeks. Like, it doesn't feel like spring, I would say. Like, it's been, like, on and off. Um, but maybe it's just that I've had more things, like, that like, maybe it's because I had more things to distract myself on the computer, whereas, like, when the year that I started getting into the gardening, um, I had, like, there wasn't any game that I felt like playing, and I just really didn't feel like modding at all, or coding, whatever, so... Yes, come in, you fucking idiot! The fuck you doing? Just come in. Um... Yeah, I mean, I know this is just a shitty recording, as it usually is. I'm gonna be playing something while I'm doing it, but, you know. I just figured, what the hell. But yeah, I felt like... I don't know. Maybe there'll just be another thing where I feel like, Yeah, that was weird. I fucking what the hell, man? Just as I start recording, fucking two parties. It's like, oh yeah, I've literally almost never had that happen where I just fucking am playing and then somebody asks me to join, like a few times, but then fucking hilarious, two in a row. One just for a quick quest and then the other for a fucking dungeon. It's like, what the fuck? Uh, no, I think there was more stuff that I could have talked about, but I didn't like note it down or anything. But yeah, just a very disjointed, very lots of dead air ramble, obviously. But I guess people would get better at these kind of things the more they do it. The talking while playing something kind of thing. Lakeshire and Darkshire. Okay, so I guess I'll just go to Lakeshire and then Darkshire, then back to Stormwind, I guess. I'm not sure which way is faster, but it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, I guess people would get better at this kind of thing the more they do it, obviously. But yeah, I am still pretty clearly pretty bad at it. The multitasking thing. But I did get a good amount of the topics I wanted to talk about kind of out of the way, I guess. You mentioned you had another post, Rudy, but it wasn't. It was the one that was just after you mentioned me with the. I think that's probably faster, but mentioned me with the fucking guy that or whatever the open source fucking idiot uh deleting their bullshit, having a little tantrum and deleting their bullshit. You had something else like right after that. I forget what it was about though. Um, but yeah, it's pretty late, and I think I talked about the main things I wanted to talk about. So I guess I'll stop the recording. You know, sorry if this was torturously boring or retarded. Uh, Definitely not something you would be uh you would be blamed for missing or whatever. But yeah, just a quick thing and all that. But yeah, thanks for listening and have a good one, everybody. I guess. Yeah, have a good one.